Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GMologist Presents. Today, we continue with day 28 of RPG A Day 2025. I guess we should say hashtag in front of their stream, Rolla. How are you today?
I- I'm doing good, but you know what?
What?
Don't keep me in suspense. What's
That is to,
today's prompt?
well, that is today's prompt, ironically, suspense. I think suspense is hard to pull pull off to jaded role players. What do you think? Do you ever
Uh,
find something suspenseful, or do you kind of know it's coming? I mean, I know we've explored deceive before, but, like betrayal, but suspense. I mean,
well, does suspense have to mean that, we're kept on the edge of our seat, or does it mean that there's like a cliffhanger at the end of one session and we keep everything, including our listeners, in suspense until the next episode?
yeah, I think that could be more like it, but that's in the context of YouTube. I guess you could do that in the context of a role-playing session from session to session.
Well, I would say let's take Twilight 2000 as an example. We set up
Mm,
our battle, and it's so suspenseful as we wait to see is this tactic, which was day 27's prompt, going to work for taking over? Or are the die rolls going to be against me? Instead of us defeating, are we going to be caught by surprise? Is something going to happen there? I would say that could happen.
yeah,
And
but
and also anytime we've done like Call of Cthulhu games or really investigative games, it's very suspenseful. How are these pieces going to fit together to solve whatever it is I'm looking at? Or am I chasing a rabbit hole?
right. Yeah, I mean, suspense is supposed to be a state of anxious excitement or nervousness caused by uncertainty or doubt about what will happen next. And
Hmm.
I find like in a role-playing game, even in Call of Cthulhu, it becomes a procedural. Like, yeah, I like some of the games we played, but I know there's this one kind of, I don't know if it's a common trope, but I've seen it done in adventures like Call of Cthulhu where you try to take out the bad guy and it doesn't work, so you have to reevaluate and try to take him out again. Is that really suspenseful or just a procedure? And I find, I don't know, maybe I'm just jaded and I find rarely that I'm in suspense, nervous about what's going to happen next. Maybe that's just me. I know
Well,
when I've run, the coolest time when I felt like the group was in suspense was inadvertently aided by like an environmental prompt or happening. And we were playing Dark Ages Call of Cthulhu, and I was describing some some things that were they saw up in the trees, and they heard a dripping sound, and then they is cold, windy day somewhere in Eastern, present day Eastern Europe. But anyway, so they look up and there's this dripping, and they look up, and then uh, at the same time, when I was describing this, some water fell from condensation from the air conditioning in the room we were at, and they like jumped, right? So because they were nervous about what was about to be described. So I think, they're chasing through the woods after chasing through in a cemetery. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was a good day for me as I was describing it. But I don't know. How about you? Do you have like that's the only thing I can think of. I mean, where the players are kept in suspense, as it were. I don't know. Maybe.
well, I mean, I've been in games that you've run and others have run where I'm so invested into the character
Mhm.
that you go to roll the die and it lands, and it's almost always a nat one when you don't want it to be. And you're sitting at the edge of your seat, like, I just invested all this time into this character. Am I really gonna die?
Mhm. Or like it's a really tough fight, and I think the suspense could come when it's time for initiative, and you got to win initiative. If you don't win initiative, you will probably die. And I was in a great game run by Jeff Talanian at Texas RPG Con a couple of years ago, where it came down to that. My character and then the boss character, everyone else was down and dying, and I had like one bullet left, and I had to make initiative. Last I did not, and I was, I mean, he could have missed, but that was suspenseful. I think that was really um, a cool thing in that
Right.
particular game. So I guess I was. Yeah, I mean, I think players have, and I've overheard like that was another cool thing that happened this year at North Texas. I overheard players talking about the game that I one of the games that I ran in, and that was kind of neat because they really were excited about it, and they were kept on the edge of their seat. It seems because it kept, I was pushing the action pretty well. So sometimes it works. You know.
Hmm. Oh, absolutely. Or you just miss by one and you have no more luck left, or you have no more heart left. You have no more of your meta currency left,
Mhm.
and it's do or die.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess the suspense can be uh fomented, driven, or driven by the die rolls, right? Say in the game in a
Hmm.
game of One Ring, if your character's already wounded, then they got to get this combat done. Or if they take another wound, wow, now they got to roll their armor check. And if they fail it, well, then they're probably going to be dead. So.
Oh, absolutely. Or the suspense of, okay, you have all the pieces. You
Hmm.
think you've put it together correctly, and now you go present it. And if you have it wrong,
Oh,
insta death,
or bad consequences, right? Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I
But
agree.
you don't know one way or the other.
Mhm. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think sometimes games get caught up in the procedural or the meta part of the game, and maybe even this could even or hint or speak to meta currency itself, right? That can sometimes ruin the suspense of a game because, well, you got to reroll or you can use your luck or whatever. I don't know. It's interesting
Well, I mean, think
concept.
about it. Not this last episode, but an episode or so ago, my ranger in One Ring actually finally had a trait of hers she could use, and I made you reroll because that was the only way we were going to survive it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
So
No, I
that I mean, if I missed that roll, the party would have stopped there.
Yeah, and One Ring is it does a really good job, I think, of the way that fatigue and endurance, and then even better, shadow and hope work, because you use that hope ahead of time, sometimes whether you need it or not, and but then as you use more hope and you incur more shadow during the course of an adventure, then that can be detrimental. And I think that keeps characters invested and sort of in suspense and maybe even a little nervous, I hope, of
Hmm.
what might happen to their character if they succumb to shadow or have a bout of madness. I think
Or,
Pendragon does a great job of that too because of the
oh, yes.
yeah,
We had a lot of fun with that one too.
yeah, Pendragon, I think, does a lot of that because of the different traits and passions. How is your passion going to go? Maybe we should get back to that because I think that's another game that provides for that. I don't know. I think a hard game could. Hard. I think I like the way that like Free League, and then I would say that Project Psyche in a way is a little bit of a conspiracy horror as well because you don't,
Hmm.
it's dealing with death and the other side, and it's been creepy the way D has run it, which is neat. But I think like a game like that, or Alien for that matter, because you have the stress dice, right, that accumulate. And so it's like,
Right.
that I think that can also build on the suspense. So I think some games have a good mechanic. I notice that we named a lot of free league games here that can generate that, right? Even, I mean, shoot, the suspense of rolling, if you get hit with a crit, the suspense of rolling the result in Twilight 2000,
Oh, goodness.
makes you nervous.
Absolutely. Or Call of Cthulhu, where you go to roll and you have to roll and you don't make your roll and you're like, how much insanity did I
Oh, right.
lose? And you rolled terrible and you know you're going to lose sanity and you're just sitting there like, okay, come on, die. Okay, don't make me lose it all. Don't make me go insane. and then you end
Yeah.
up taking almost nothing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
you never know. But it's kind of like playing craps in that way with our dice.
Yeah. And maybe that's how we create suspense in our games, is through the randomness of die rolls.
Right, but we've also encouraged that more dice might give you better results, which statistically is incorrect.
This is true. Okay.
So,
Well, I think that was a
but,
really cool little discussion. Thanks so much,
mhm.
Stream Rolla. And we'll
Thank
see you
you.
tomorrow. Good night.
Good night. Good rolling.